Hey guys, just wanted to give you a shot of my day camp here. This is where I'm hanging out for the day. It has been warm, guys. You know, unfortunately, I just don't have the gas money to be at the beach every day of the week. It really is a good 10 degrees cooler at the coast. It is really only, I think, in the mid 80s today, but it's a little more humid than normal. Southern California generally isn't that humid, but seems a little sticky today, so it's kind of making it a little uncomfortable. But you know, coming down to a place like this and having the breeze come off the water cuts the heat a little bit. But overall, you know, I just wanted to say that I can't really say that I'm any more uncomfortable in the summers living in this van than I was living in an apartment. The last place I was renting was $1,000 a month. It was a second-story duplex, and it did have a couple small AC units, but they just were too small for the place, so they really didn't do anything. The ventilation between the front door and the windows wasn't that good. You didn't get much of a cross breeze. And I remember being more miserably sweltering hot in that apartment than I have been in this van so far. So this will be my second summer living in the van here, where it gets pretty warm, and it's, you know, it's really tolerable. The humidity stays low enough here to where it's not like dripping sweat. It's just, you know, that kind of dead heat feeling. So yeah, overall it's been bearable. Having the coast here is a nice place to retreat, but like I said, I can't be there every day. So places like this, it's really not bad. You know, just getting out of the van sometimes and finding some shade under a tree where it's breezy can really just, you know, make the day. So that's what I do. You know, I come to places like this and I'm able to kind of wander around, and then I have my home to come back to and relax, take a nap if I want. I'm going to be editing some video here. I basically set my laptop up right here, sit on the end of my bed and just do my editing there. I have my doors open, so outside my home office is pretty much this awesome view of the lake. So yeah, what I really wanted to touch on though, more than dealing with the heat, is just dealing with life in general. Oh, we got a plane going overhead. Anyway, for me, my experience with life, there he goes. You know, overall, I've always felt that I'm a fun, happy person. Probably the last 10 years of my life, though, things got a little bit rough and not so happy and fun. Started dealing with some depression and stuff like that. Not really enjoying the time with friends and family like I used to, and just kind of overall struggling with life and, you know, dealing with why I'm here and what am I going to do with my life, and you know, kind of that outlook. And I can definitely say, since moving into the van and stripping away a lot of the material distractions I had, I didn't realize how much just having a room full of stuff in TV and DVDs and video games and blasting music all the time really just kind of was masking a lot of the negative stuff that I was feeling. And when I made this transition, all that stuff was stripped away and I was just kind of left with myself. And I will say, for the first almost year, I was dealing with the transition and everything that went along with it, and kind of the excitement of something new. But like anything, we adapt, and that newness and freshness faded, and I was kind of just left again with, okay, here I am sitting in my home. Now it's different, it's mobile, and you know, I have this potential to do all this stuff with the freedom and not having a rent. But I realized, especially lately, that I'm still kind of just left with me. And what am I going to do with myself and life? And I will say that this has given me the opportunity to have a little bit more clarity. And I think that's been bigger than I can ever imagined. Clarity for me means really being in touch a little bit more with what's going on inside me and these negative feelings. If I'm starting to get a little bit depressed, it feels like living this lifestyle, I'm able to kind of address those things and have a little bit more clearer path of vision to see what's causing that. And for me, a lot of it, a lot of my life up until this point, I was always pinning any depression or negativity or unhappiness I was feeling on what was going on around me. There was just things in the world that just because of the way they were, my life sucks, and that's never going to change unless the world changes. And I don't think that's very uncommon. I think there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. If they were just in a different relationship, if they just had more money, a different job, a better marriage, you know, a nicer place to live, or they were in a different, you know, city or whatever. And there probably is something to that. But overall, I think when it comes down to it, for me, a lot of my experience of life has just been me having the courage and energy to address just the realness of what's going on. And I don't know what I was preoccupied with, or just the time period in my life, call it a midlife crisis or whatever, but when I made the decision to make a drastic change in my lifestyle, it opened up me to see a little bit better stuff about myself. And I think overall, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm ready to make a big change as far as my geographic location and how I'm making my money and how I'm living my life. But overall, I'm still having to get up every day. I'm still having to deal with the personal relationships in my life. I'm still having to deal with family. And none of that changes when you remove rent from the equation. When you start living in a van, you're just not paying rent anymore. You have some more mobile freedom, but overall, you know, the only other thing you have is less space and more time. And for me, the more time has given me a little bit more mental clarity to kind of see what's going on in my life. So that's where I'm at. I'm addressing a lot of the personal things I've been dealing with that have caused me unhappiness, and really able to take a look at it and start removing things from my life that I feel have been causing negativity, addressing ways of thinking, attitudes and perspectives I've had towards certain things and dealing with that, not caring so much about what other people think, letting people go on with their lives how they want to live them, and letting it not concern me. That's been huge for me. And I think YouTube has really helped me do that, being exposed to all these people that are kind of living similar lifestyles, but we're all still completely different. You know, there's people like me who are trying to keep it as simple as possible. Since I converted this van, I have not bought one material thing to add to it. I've stuck with the original plan. That's why none of my videos are, you know, modifications or I bought this, I bought that. You know, I watch some channels where, you know, these guys are just buying stuff for their van every week. They're buying a new thing, a new this, a new that. It's like, when does it stop, you know? And for me, it stopped when I moved into the van. That's when I made the decision that, you know what, yeah, of course, I could add a ton of solar panels and, you know, get an extended van and stuff all this stuff into, and that's what I'm trying to get away from. And for me, getting away from that, has given me the clarity to see that I was spending a lot of money to make myself happy just on things. And the things were making me happy for a very short amount of time. And a lot of that happiness was just tied up in the excitement of spending money, having that little bit of a buzz and excitement inside, that knowing that I'm taking something I worked so hard for and just handing it over to somebody, which is kind of a gamble, and hoping that what I get in return, this brand new shiny object, is going to make me happier and that's going to last. But for me, my experience, that doesn't work for me. I know it works for a lot of people, and more power to you. I'm not bad-mouthing you, but I'm saying that it was a trap for me. And I was following a lot of people's lead. You know, I was following a lot of people's lead that, wow, they're doing this and they seem happy. But I have no idea what they're experiencing on the inside. When they're behind closed doors and they're alone, I have no idea if they're truly happy or they're truly miserable inside. All I know is how they're expressing themselves on their outside. And that's where I came to the realization that I need to stop worrying so much about how others are living their lives. And that's why I try to keep my channel kind of more on a real tip, to where I'm not trying to just show off my stuff and say, look how cool this is. I try to make it look for how it really is. It's minimalistic and there's not a whole lot to it. For me, the things that are making me happy and I'm getting excitement from, they're not coming from buying things and spending money anymore. They're coming from going to places like this and taking the time to relax enough, to relax my body and mind enough to absorb what's offered here. Because I've come to places like this plenty of times and I'm not able to absorb what's offered here. I'm so preoccupied with all the crap going on in my life that I'm not able to actually absorb what nature is offering me. They're offering me nature is offering me that excitement, that fulfillment that I've been searching for in material stuff. So that's why I try to keep things so minimalistic here in this van. It's bare necessities, it's comfortable, and I'm happy with the living arrangements that I have now. So now the real trick is to become happy with what's going on inside me and come to a secure and confident place where I don't care about what people think about me, and I don't care about how people are living their lives. I have concern and compassion for others, and I'm willing to help others when they need it, but for the most part, people just want to be left alone and pursue happiness the way they want to pursue it. And for me, that's a big thing, to just come to terms with that and let the world turn how it's been turning and just focus on my happiness. And when I'm happy, I feel like other people around me are happy, and that's all I can really offer. So I'm going to really try to stay focused on that, especially with my videos and channel. I'm going to try to really show you guys the places that I go and what they have to offer that I'm getting that peace and fulfillment and happiness from. So I'm going to leave you with that, guys. All I can say is please follow your dreams. Life is way too short. Take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.